Okay, this is the second part of the video where we show you how to strip down the steering wheel and swap all the bits over onto the new steering wheel. So if I pass the camera over to Tom, you got that, Tom? Okay, so there's two screws in here, one here and one here, and they're Torx T20 fixings. So take those out. So obviously, because you're swapping all the electrics over from your old wheel to your new wheel, there's no issues with compatibility of switches or electronics. Everything remains the same, it's just the mechanical wheel we're changing. Now Tom did say, there's one bit on the last video, or the first bit of the video I promised to show you and never did. And that's this wire hook. So if you look at the bottom, I'm just putting the steering wheel tool in. If you pan out a bit, Tom, they're able to see the hole. And then when you push on this, can you see all the wire movement? And that's what releases the hooks on the steering wheel for the airbag to come off. So that's that little bit done. Right, and what you've got, these then pull up, and they're just on like little spearheads into the soft rubber of the steering wheel. So can you see you've got these little spearheads that go into these sections here. Okay, so if you pull those off, right now. Okay, now one important thing to note here is where the wires go. So can you see these cables that go up to the switch pack run behind the aluminium spokes? So when you reassemble it, make sure they're back in that position. Right, the next job to do is to push the plastic backing away from the steering wheel. Okay. And if we get it right, it should all come away. Okay, so that's the steering wheel back to the core unit. Okay, and then you're ready just to swap them all over onto the new wheel. Now basically it's exactly the same process. You just position it there, drop those in, okay, line that up, okay, right, make sure all the wires are in the right place. It's a little bit tight on that back corner there, that's it. So they're coming up by the side. It's probably hard to see with the black against the black, but get those up there. Okay, push those up. Okay, got to make sure this connector here comes up through. Sorry, I've got that in there. It comes up through the back. That's it. Okay. And then push that just literally clips into the back of the rubber on the back of these spokes. And put this, push the switch packs back into position. Okay, screw the clips back into place. Okay. One there. Okay, like so. And that's now ready to put back into the car. Okay, so we're going to put the steering wheel back on. So we're looking at the little slot here, and this little round pin needs to be opposite that roughly. Okay, and then the airbag one needs to come up through the middle one there. Alright, get that lined up. Okay, make sure this wire doesn't get caught. Pull that through. Okay, so we're looking to line these two slots up now, and obviously making sure that in this hole the slip ring behind's located. That's all fine. Okay, when you're happy that's lined up, put the nut back on, get the 19mm socket, Okay, so we've got the steering lock on, so we can get it fairly tight. Obviously you don't want your steering wheel coming loose, so you want to get this as tight as you can here. Okay, react some of the force on the steering wheel, so you're not putting all the load on the steering wheel lock. Reconnect that connector back in, you'll hear that click. Then we've got the two for the airbag. Okay, that's all fine. Right, retrieve your airbag from your safe storage location. So the wire goes down like so. Okay, push it in, and only when it's in, then push the insert in. Okay, check that's safe. Okay, make sure your battery's disconnected, obviously. And then we've got the earth connection to go on the little pin here, the spade connector. Okay, you won't be able to see that. Right, and then this is the bit where we've got to get this bit there. There's a little hook under here. We've got to make sure this wire is hooked round. You probably won't be able to see it. Let's have a go. Let me grab the camera. Okay, it's going to be hard to see, but you've got a hook under here, and you've hooked the wire. That just keeps the cable out of the way. It's quite important you do that. Okay, and then push the airbag back into place. So when you're happy it's all lined up, okay, like so. Pushed it all back into place, and that's the job done. You need to reconnect the battery, and there you go, the new steering wheel fitted.